one more match to play in the quarterfinals. Let's find out who will be facing Akko in the semi-finals of this tournament. We are going to Main Street Coliseum, which means that 7 out of the 28, which means still exactly a quarter of the matches have been in Main Street Coliseum. Pokemon. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final quarterfinal match in this Pokemon Battle Revolution Metronome Tournament. Introducing first, hailing from Vista Lighthouse. It is the winner of Group C of group stage in this tournament. It is Darrad. Darrad has won all 3 of his matches in his group. Will he be able to get past Flash? His opponent, Flash. Hailing from, I don't remember, I literally just looked it up. Darn it! Where does he hail from? This is important. Totally affects the gameplay. I must know this information. Flash hails from Eterna Forest. I thought it was Eterna City or Eterna Forest. Hailing from Eterna Forest, Flash! You hail from... I don't remember. I said it at the start of your match, but that was likely right after your internet went out. You come from... See, this was your team. The Trophy Garden. You're from the Trophy Garden. But yeah, this is an interesting match because I have hosted quite a lot of Pokemon tournaments before. I have a Pokemon tournament server on Discord. If you're interested in that, let me know and I'll give you an invite link for it. That is also where like almost half, I think 7 out of 16 participants of this tournament are from. And I've done like 19 tournaments there. This one will be the 20th, or this one's unofficial because there's some people not from the server in there. They've done 2 tournaments so far. 2 Metronome Tournaments. An Arceus Metronome Tournament, won by Flash. And at the 16th tournament was a Standard Metronome Tournament, won by Darrad. Both these players have won one of my tournaments so far, and nothing more. And both of the times, it was a Metronome Tournament. One of them will go to the semi-final, one of them will not be adding another Metronome Tournament title to their successes. Darrad v Flash, the final quarterfinals. Premier Ball and Cherish Ball are thrown. Gengar and Giratina versus Umbreon and Feraligatr.
Have gathered at this Coliseum, located on the main street of Poketopia, to witness the big battle that is about to unfold. The battle begins!
Pain Split starts. Who has the higher base HP stat? It's for Alligator because it was lowered a bit. Gengar couldn't increase because it was already at max HP. Let's go Tina. Fire Fang. Burn. Burn it. So the Synchronize will activate and hit the Giratina. This is one of the matches I could not predict. Whirlwind. Okay, Giratina sent out. I want to see a different Pokemon from Darrad. Well, Akko, this is going to be your opponent. Whoever wins this one. Sableye. And remember that Giratina is the final one that I sent out. If one of these faints, I don't send out the one in slot 3 unless... Did we just see a double Whirlwind? And on the same slot? Sableye was it just in and it was already... Huh? I was gonna say, if Giratina was gonna be sent back out, a highlight right there. This is a pretty interesting thing that I don't think will make the highlight reel. Currently thinking for the highlight reel, your first match, especially the ending, like the fling from Latios when it ran out of PP, and then the final was at 4 or 5 turns with Ice Ball and Imprison. I'm thinking the self-destruct or explosion tie. The fact that the previous 2 matches we did ended the exact same with Sacred Fire, Bird on Tyranitar, and then the Bird taking it out. Somewhere like in round 3 there was something really interesting. I want to say it was with the Giratina that like, did some fancy things. Some cool combos that we had, but there's a few highlights I have in my mind of what I want to do. Aqua Ring. It's a full HP, so that's very helpful, but Gengar isn't the most defensive Pokemon, so it may not be able to make use of it as well as others.
The move failed.
Oh no, it just missed. Which means I can't say because it might have targeted a Bronzong. I was so ready to say the line. Like I said, there's many lines I've said multiple times, including, you never know, it's a Metronome Tournament. But that doesn't work on ghosts. It's basically like, almost, I don't want to call it a meme yet, but it's probably one of the most common things I've said, and definitely the things that's most memorable to me. I was ready to say it because it was a ghost in the field. Dragon Claw. It's a nice physical move for Ralligator, but one of them missed and one of them was resisted. So that doesn't inflict a lot of damage, unfortunately. Seed Bomb. That's resisted. Force Bomb. Decent. Gengar's not that great at physical attacks, but it's super effective. Might paralyze, although you probably don't want to see that because then Synchronize will put it back from Gengar, and Gengar wants its speed. Fire Blast.
An exhausting battle between both sides.
We're seeing big moves, and there's the burn. 1/8 of its damage, 1/8 of its health every turn, and then half the attack. Considering for Alligators, used pretty good, strong physical attacks for the past 2 turns, and hyper-effective Dragon Claw. That burn will be actually useful if that keeps up. Tyranitar for Alligator. First Brine, stab move, now special, goes for Gengar. Smart, trying to go for Gengar to not make Aqua Ring be that effective, but as long as it's just small hits, Aqua Ring can heal it back up. Sacred Fire, 3rd match in a row we've seen it, and it's actually a crit KO.
It couldn't survive the second hit.
Aqua Ring is not going to be that effective. Sacred Fire is a KO now, also it wasn't used in a Tyranitar. For the first time in the quarterfinals. Astonish. Tiny bit of damage. But we do have the first KO. And the KO is on the side of Darrad, giving Flash the lead. Could Flash be the second person that was second in their group to move on? In the Group A and B matches, it was the group winners that went through. Akko having won in Group A and Kimono having won in Group B. Let's see, Giratina is in slot 4, Sableye is now in slot 5, but because they were in the fight but they were switched out, they're at the back. So it's going to be Bronzong, who was already out, then Lucario, then Lugia, then Giratina, then Sableye. Need to remember that. Otherwise, I mess up the order. If I mess up the order, then I think I'll just...
When comparing the number of remaining Pokemon. But the
I could do
battle
continuous
has
switches
just
to
begun.
on both sides to put things back, but then that's actually bird damage for alligators, so that's not right. So maybe then I'll just keep them in. Because here the order doesn't matter that much, because there's no weather summoning. Yeah, both in Group A and B, both the group winners are there, so no one from the same group from A or B can be facing each other, because Van Grants from B is knocked out, and Alex Jeff from Group A is knocked out. Matt, who was second in Group C, beat the winner in Group D. So if Darrad wins this, there's a potential for a Group C rematch in both in either the finals or the match for third place. If they both win the semis or both lose in the semis. But Darrad first has to win, and for the moment, they're behind.
The move fails.
Metronome.
Bronzong.
The surprise.
Starts to
Psybeam.
attack. It didn't
Doesn't
do
work on
anything.
Darks.
Well, both corners still have a chance to win this. What kind of developments can we expect to see next?
If not a lot happens, then the burn from Feraligatr is still going to deal damage, so eventually it's going to take it out. Are there going to be extra hits on it? Healing Wish! That's not what you want to see when you call Darrad! And that's absolutely what you want to see if you go Flash. That's a 6-4 lead. Okay, so skip Giratina, Sableye, Lugia. That Lucario was not on the field for long. Last time we saw Healing Wish or Lunar Dance was Akko's Latios, I believe. Or was there one more one too much after that? At least Latios did it. And Akko ended up just winning that match, so that Latios will get another shot, especially considering it's one of the two lead Pokemon. It'll absolutely be sent out again in the semifinals. And potentially against the winners of this.
It's being ganged up on.
But let's see if Healing Wish user Lucario on Darrad's team might be the opponent of that Latios. Spike Cannon.
Multiple hits. It keeps dealing
3
damage.
hits, 4 hits, fourth one was a crit, so that's good damage. Effectively, it's the damage from 5. Attacking the Umbreon while
Currently leads. Can they
Feraligatr
end it
just
quickly?
slowly gets whittled down by the burn. Which is an interesting strategy. I think it's the right one. Because there's no real increase in stats and trends that you need to be afraid of. Crush Grip. Won't be that much power. Because that Crush Grip is based on
It hits.
the amount of HP the opposing Pokemon has left. So it'll be just under 50 power on a Pokemon that's pretty defensive. Water Pulse, stab again using the special moves because its physical attack is half, which is a burn. Feraligatr dealing some nice damage. And confusing Bronzong. Nice. Here comes Umbreon. Pound.
A light hit.
Oh, it did some damage, I guess. Confusion on Bronzong. Doesn't hit itself, it can continue. Tailwind, we saw that earlier on Flash's side of the field. Now it's Darrad with the Tailwind, so Darrad gets to go first.
Well,
Will that burn?
both corners still have a chance to win
They'll
this.
survive for
What
one
kind
more
of
turn.
developments
They'll have
can
4
we
HP
expect
left
to
after
see
this.
next?
Easy calculation with Feraligatr at 160 myself. So that's 20 damage from the burn. And with 24 health, he'll survive the burn. Lugia with Sandstorm. That adds damage to Feraligatr at the end of the turn, so Feraligatr will go down if nothing changes to its HP. Bronzong hits itself, but this might still mean a KO due to Sandstorm. Feraligatr one more turn. Triple kick, that's 4 times resisted and halved by burn, that's gonna do almost nothing.
Multiple hits. It keeps dealing
Second one
damage.
hits, does hit all 3 triple kicks, but still very little damage. Quite possibly 1 per hit, maybe 2. Pain Split from Umbreon, and Bronzong was at lower health, so Bronzong heals a bit. Umbreon down a tiny bit. Sandstorm damage hits everything except Bronzong, so that was still good for Darrad side. One of their Pokemon not hit by the Sandstorm, just as if they would have sent out Tyranitar. I remember because this was a move summoned weather, the move Sandstorm instead of the ability Sandstream setting it up. Sandstorm will end after 5 turns. First KO on the side of Flash. For Alligator now down to the burn with a bit of help from that Sandstorm. Still a 5-4 lead for them. Here comes our third Pokemon, Maki, the Lopunny. Remember, this team of Darrad's beat Matt and Matt's legendary team. Matt's legendary team beat Damien 3-0 and is now in the semifinals. If Darrad wins this, he'll face another big legendary team. The legendary Dragon Squad of Akko. And that critical hit Bug Buzz on Lopunny is a good way to go there. Spikes lowering the power points by 4 with Lugia's Metronome, but it's long from getting to 0, and then the Leopard Berry is still active. Bronzong hits itself again, that's not good. You don't want to see that. Already 3 turns of confusion. We've seen a lot of Pokemon get out of sleep and confusion earlier. Conversion 2 doesn't work, and the Tailwind petters out on the side of Darrad. Sandstorm again, dealing damage to Lugia, Umbreon, and Lopunny. So that Sandstorm, I think with 3 more hits, may just take out. That was a 81. I think it'll just take out Umbreon if it actually is 3 more hits, because it was. The thing is, it stays active for 5 turns, but does that mean it'll deal damage for 5 turns and then stay active for a 6th turn while not dealing damage on the 6th, or does it at the end of the 5th turn stop Sandstorming and therefore dealing damage? Because 3 more hits from Sandstorm should take out Umbreon if I did my full calculations right. More damage to Bronzong. Metronome again, Umbreon.
Umbreon uses its move.
The 3rd Tailwind! The one on the other side just ran out, so this one's activated. Bronzong will be very happy to know they have snapped out of confusion and decide to celebrate that with Gyro Ball. It's the slowest one on the field and brings Shuichi to almost 0 health. And with the Sandstorm that was set up by Lugia earlier on, that's going to be the KO, and it ties us up at 4-4.
Oh, it just couldn't take the damage from the Sandstorm.
Here comes Chiaki, the Porygon Z. Increasing its attack stat through downloads. Let's see if it can make use of that.
Despite being at a disadvantage, will this turn the tide of the battle?
Bronzong at low health, Maki at just under half, and Sandstorm still active. We've had 3 full turns of it now, include well 3 damaging turns for it. Return, very low power. Stab but resisted, so it's only going to be 1 damage. Because everyone's at 0 friendship, I do believe. Who do you think will win? Purely on base stats, I'd say probably Darrad's team.
Multiple hits.
Because there's some legendaries in there, and all other Pokemon like Bronzong and Gengar have high stats. They have some good immunities in there. 3 ghosts. One of them is a Ghost Dark, so that gives me an extra immunity. A Levitator in Gengar, 3rd immunity. So quite a lot of resistances. Bronzong is a Steel type with Levitate, so that's 2 immunities and just a lot of resistances. And that combined with the fact that they have higher base stat totals makes me think it'll be Darrad. But at the moment, Flash looking good. Stealth Rock has been set up though by Darrad, so there's going to be 1/8 of max HP as damage when new Pokemon come in on Flash's side, but that is affected by their defensive matchup to Rock. So weak to Rock, you get more damage, resist Rock, less damage. Maki again, making use of that Tailwind.
Lopunny.
Roar of Time on Lugia. Unfortunately, Lopunny's not that strong in special attacks. Chiaki with Metronome. Also, this is the fifth turn in Sandstorm, I do believe. So we'll see at the end of the turn if it's Sandstorm damage or if it ends. Doesn't work on flying. Outrage. It's gonna be stuck in that for 2 or 3 turns. And it starts with a kill on Lopunny, so after being 6-4 behind, after some good turns, Darrad now leads 4-3. Comeback is absolutely on. Bronzong is almost down, but it's not fully down yet. And that's a very important critical hit. Returns, again, return 1 base power. You really want frustration, it's a lot stronger. I wish my dragons would use Outrage. Easy win. Yeah, that'd deal a lot of damage if they would come from your dragons. Alright, Flash's 5th Pokemon, Hajime. The Luxray. Takes 1/8 of its max health as damage from Stealth Rock. Intimidates both Bronzong and Lugia, lowering their attack stat. Basically putting their attack stats at 2/3 of what they would normally be. Which also affects Outrage from Lugia. It's Outrage. I forgot to look at Sandstorm.
Successfully hit multiple times.
Still a big damage even after that Intimidate, so Lugia's doing well. Porygon Z, Swallow, still not effective because we've not seen Swallow or Spit Up after a Stockpile. We've seen Stockpile as well, but never followed by either Spit Up or Swallow. Leaf Blade's going to be resisted, but it's some damage at least on Lugia, but they want to take Lugia out. Lugia might get confused after this turn though, or the next. Lugia will not want to get confused now, it'll want another turn. Ooh, Magnitude! That's big, because Lugia resisted, doesn't work on flyings. Some damage on Porygon Z, super effective on Luxray. Luckily for Flash, not only was it Magnitude 6, is Bronzong not that offensively powerful, it's a lot more defensive, and the Intimidate was active, so it wasn't that much damage. Lugia did get confused, so it was either 2 or 3 turns for Outrage. We've seen quite a few 3 turns recently, but Lugia's the 2 turns, is confused now. And hits itself, but only for a little bit of damage, because Intimidate affects this as well. Because you calculate your own attack stat against your own defense stat when hitting yourself in Fusion. And Lugia is already a defensive Pokemon, it's a tank. And with lowered attack, that does less damage. Hypnosis from Hajime on the Bronzong. Bronzong going to sleep.
The blue corner has no Pokemon that can move.
70% accurate Hypnosis in Diamond and Pearl, and therefore in Battle Evolution as well. The only games in which that's the case, because every other one is 60. Lugia hits itself again. Both Lugia and Bronzong at low health. One good hit, like an Eruption, or one other move, it could take one of them out. Maybe even both. If Flash capitalizes here, they could get the lead back from 4-3 behind to 3-2. Nature Power, and then this Colosseum becomes Tri-Attack, which started being Earthquake and Sunset. It's Tri-Attack here. The tiniest bit of health left on that Bronzong, and it can't get burned because it already had a status in with that being asleep. It already wakes up. That's a 2nd turn wake up. Fake Tears.
Its special defense fell.
Effectively halving Porygon Z's special defense.
Still have a chance to win this.
Only 1 health on Bronzong. That survival might just come in clutch right at the end. If it survives long enough, and if it becomes really close, then we'll know this was important. Headbutt from Lugia. Deal a bit of damage, less than Outrage. I say that, but it's a critical hit, which also ignores the attack drop from Intimidate. It could also flinch, 30% chance, I do believe, from Headbutt. Confuse Ray, putting that Lugia back into confusion immediately after it snapped out. Luxray does flinch. Bronzong. The Tonpas. We've seen the other 2 already, but, well, Bronzong wants to live. How much a person wins by is not important whatsoever, because there's no tiebreakers necessary. It's just either win or lose here. And Giratina comes back out.
Giratina is sent out.
Sableye will be next then, and then Bronzong.
Neither corner has made a decisive attack yet. Their concentration is certainly being tested.
Sableye has been sent 2 Pokemon No, one Pokemon has been sent out. The two switches after Sableye, yeah, into Bronzong again and then back into Giratina. And Sableye still hasn't even gotten a chance to move. Because it was sent in and then happened again. Ooh, it hit itself again, so third turn out of 4 that it hit itself. And on turn 3 it only didn't hit itself because it snapped out. String shot.
Its speed fell.
Not that important, but the speed fell, so makes Luxray and Porygon Z move before the others. Here comes Giratina. Cross chop, that misses.
Its attack missed.
Luxray actually still after Giratina, even after the speed drop. Triple kick.
The move
Doesn't work on Ghosts!
Well, both corners
I got to
still
say
have
it.
a chance to win this. What kind of
Just hit
development
Lugia.
can we expect to see next?
Actually, don't hit Lugia. Lugia might take itself out. 4th out of 4 confusion hits. Because the one where it snaps out doesn't really count. Rapid spin, that does work on Psychic Flyings.
A light hit.
It's only a small bit of damage, but with increased attack stat from download. Oh wait, it gets rid of the Stealth Rock as well. So that's no damage on the final Pokemon that Flash will be sending in.
Luxray
Doesn't work on Ghosts.
can pull off a move.
Lugia does snap out of confusion, survives just like Bronzong at super low health. Acupressure, who's going to get increased stats? A 2 stat increase and random stat speed. Go from lowered speed by String Shot to increased speed by Acupressure. So it's now +1 speed where Giratina's at -1. Extra sensory, pretty good move.
A fierce blow.
Hitting
Such
Chiaki for a
amazing power.
lot of damage. Wow. Oh yeah, because Fake Tears was active on it, huh? From Bronzong. Oh, it's special defense. Flash could just get that lead if he uses a tiny move on Lugia and then Bronzong again, although Bronzong is in the back. But knowing that the final Pokemon on the opponent's side has 1 HP, can be interesting. Ooh, Power Trick. Switch its attack and defense. Does that include stat changes, or is this literally just the stat? No, Thunder Punch should have gone on Lugia. Not only does it take it out, this one doesn't deal a lot of damage because it's resisted. Giratina. Confuzzle Ray. On Porygon Z, on Chiaki.
Became confused. Well, both corners still have
Let's
a
see,
chance to win
Power
this. Who's
Trick.
going to take
Is that
the
stats? Or is it stat modifiers? Stat modifiers are not swapped. So Porygon Z now effectively has a base attack of 70 and a base defense of 80. Really. Special defense drops are still there, and the attack increase it got from its download ability still applies to its now new defense. I mean, its new attack, which is now slightly lower, and its defense is now slightly higher. Rapid spin. Hitting it back. No Stealth Rock to remove there. Chiaki now does get through the confusion, unlike Lugia, who hit itself through 3 times. He did have to do that check. Roar! Another switch. Giratina doesn't get its turn. And here comes Sableye again. If Luxray roars now. Highlight. Ooh! Judgment has been dealt! And Sableye didn't come out, it was random, it was Bronzong. It's good, because otherwise it would have said, doesn't work on Ghosts. And where Sableye was sent in and then immediately sent out, Bronzong was sent in to go down. And because Giratina was most recently in, Sableye now gets to come out. Giratina was switched out by the Warwind Roar twice. It's tied at 3-3. Chiaki, Hajime, both pretty weak, especially Hajime. Lugia only at 2 health. Although it does have increased speed, so it'll go first. But even the tiniest hit, like Tackle Constrict, will take Lugia out. Ember is not that big. But big enough for that tiny bit of HP that Hajime had left. 3-2 lead for Darrad. Flash want to see? Flash would want to see spread move, surf, water spout, eruption. Maybe not that. Anything that's 2 damage on Lugia. Thunderwave I guess works 25% speed for Sableye, so it'll definitely go last now, and then a 1 in 4 chance, 25% to skip its turn, which happened right there. Flash though down to the final 2 Pokemon, which is a pretty weak, just under quarter HP. Porygon Z with increased attack, but halved special defense, and a full health Typhlosion against a full HP but paralyzed Sableye, a 2 HP Lugia, and a almost fully healthy Giratina. That's still in the back. If Porygon Z goes down now, Darrad gets a 2v1 scenario and is looking very good. Especially with Giratina still in the back. Doom Desire. Increased Relepa Berry. This looks like it's Typhlosion as a target, but that might be different. This might just be the forward animation to keep it random. Odor Sleuth, it's not what you want. You want to use the tackle or anything that takes the Lugia out. Porygon Z wants to get out of that confusion, doesn't work, hits itself. Sableye with 1 decent move can make it a 2v1 scenario and bring Darrad really close to the win. Doesn't work. Gaster as it suppresses Typhlosion's ability, which is Blaze, so if Typhlosion gets to below at a third or below of its max health, it will not get an increase in its firepower. Literally, its fire type moves powers. Lugia keeps going first with its 2 HP. Hyper Fang, decent hit. I think that can flinch. 10% chance. It does flinch. Snap out of confusion for Chiaki though. Can they finally finish off Lugia? Nope. Oh, missed. I was ready to say it doesn't work on Ghost again. Multiple opportunities. Twice with Hyper Fang, but it missed. Fake Tears again on Porygon Z. Yeah, that thing's gonna die with any little bit of a special attack. 18 HP, minus 4 special defense, which is a third of what it normally is. So it'll take 3 times as much damage. Lugia with Tail Whip, lowered in the physical defenses of both Pokemon, should only really affect Typhlosion, unless you want to use Return or Constrict on Porygon Z. Metronome from Typhlosion, its first move is Hydro Pump on Sableye, and considering the damage he did, that was probably good. It doesn't take out the Lugia, but big moves you want to do where you can deal big damage. That's very important. Arm Thrust, that's going to hit at least twice, so even 4 times resisted. That was 1 HP per hit, but it hits at least twice, and there was only 2 HP on the Lugia, so that's good enough. Score is back to 2-2, and we had big damage on Sableye. So Flash is still in this. I'd say still a slight disadvantage. Here comes Hyper Beam! Obliteration by Hyper Beam. Porygon Z down, 2v1 scenario.
Typhlosion is losing its health.
And the Doom Desire does hit now. Some more damage on Typhlosion. I think that's still typeless damage in this game. I think it's Gen 5 or 6 where it actually becomes Pooper Steel move. Sableye paralyzed, just over a quarter of its health though, after that big Hydro Pump hit. But Giratina, the big legendary tank at 680 base power, base stat total, one of the biggest base stat totals in the entire game, in this game, against a half HP, just under half HP for Yuiko. Typhlosion. Flash, what are you gonna do? Bring in the comeback? Or is Darrad gonna be the one that gets a chance for a second Metronome victory? Aromatherapy. You don't have status problems. You want rest, you want recover, or just a really big hit like Ice Ball. And then hope you survive for a few turns. Giratina, good finish off with 1 Earthquake. Lava Plume. Doesn't deal that much damage on Typhlosion. Does it Sableye harder? Almost takes out a 30% chance to burn. Actually can't work on Sableye because it's already paralyzed. Otherwise that might have taken it out. Sableye doesn't get to move due to paralysis. Typhlosion probably wants to take out Sableye to ensure it doesn't get a hit. Although Giratina needs some big damage as well. Icy Wind I think would be a really nice move to hit both. Take out Sableye. We can weaker team. But Sword Dance can be really good double attack if you at least use physical attacks off of that and not specials, not status, not normal or fighting moves. Power Gem, that might be it.
It went down.
Flash Silver does not get an opportunity for a second Metronome Tournament win.
The battle has ended. The blue corner.
The one that does get the extra opportunity is Darrad. 2-0 victory in a match that took 31 minutes and 8 seconds, so pretty close together. Sure, we had a 22:10, a 29:58, a 31:08, and a 31:34. So all of them at about medium length. I think on both ends of the spectrum of medium. Darrad moving on in the tournament, winning it 2-0 over Flash, even though Flash had the early lead. There was either a Healing Wish or Lunar Dance on Darrad's side, and that side gets to go again. The potential for that Lucario versus Latios battle, Akko versus Darrad, because that's what we'll see. Only the winner of Group D, Damien, was unable to continue into the semi-finals. The winners of A, B, and C, Akko, Kimono, and Darrad, did all move on. Meaning, next Battle Revolution stream. First semi-final, Akko versus Darrad, the team you just saw against Akko's team of the 6 Legendary Dragons. Darrad's beaten Matt before we had a team of 6 Legends. Can they beat Akko's 6 Legends? And then in the second semi-final, Kimono versus Matt. Kimono's Evolution team against Matt and his Legendaries. It's gonna be something, it's gonna be special. And I'm very much looking forward to those semi-finals. When we get around to that stream, we're just going to play those 2 matches in that stream. We're going to do some fun things around it. Quite possibly we'll play Pokemon Infinite Fusion during the same stream. And then the stream, at least the Battle Revolution stream after that, because I may do something else in between. And it'll be match for 3rd, because that does exist, a match for 3rd, so for Bronze Medal. And the finals, which will both be best 2 out of 3. So you get to see a lot more action. Even if you get a 6-0 win in the first match, you might still lose the other 2 1-0 and lose the total thing.